everybody, to Adeptus Ridiculous. I am one of your hosts, Bricky. There's also this other guy, his name is DK. He's around sometimes. We're going to be talking about books and other nerds. Actually, this is a pretty nerd fucking episode right here.
Yeah.
If you enjoy this episode, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/AdeptusRidiculous. There are great options there, including joining our Discord, fancy posters every month, as well as also some really cool benefits involving.
Wow, are you okay?
It's not. There's actually. I can't think of. We don't have anything else going for that, do we?
Right? No, we have a Patreon goal at 17K though.
Oh yeah, we do have a Patreon goal at 17K. That's right. We're gonna talk about the Dornian heresy.
Dornian heresy. For some reason,
heresy.
Everybody wants the fan theory of the alternate universe where Dorn is the great betrayer.
Yes.
So,
Also, so you know, check that out. And also go to orchidae.com. Check out the merch. There's lots of merch there. Tons of merch. Merch is great. Shirts,
The
hoodies,
merch.
etc. The merch, baby.
It's all about the merch.
Hell
the
yeah.
merch.
And yeah. We would talk about book club, but
What about our boys at Collectible Squids?
I was throwing that off to you.
Oh, okay. Well, go to collectiblesquids.com and use code ADRIC and you get 15% off. And what is it? It's just flat shipping around the world or something. Bricky, is that right? Flat shipping
to a flat shipping rate to America and at a discounted price.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, check them out. They have everything that we talk about after a podcast is done that week. It's very cool.
Which means we should probably have some chaos and among chaosy things after this episode because
some word bear shit.
Lorgar.
I don't know what the next book is going to be. I guess we'll probably figure it out at the end of this episode, huh?
Yeah, you'll figure out this episode.
Cool.
Lorgar. So, DK, our book. What was our book?
It is the First Heretic. I picked it. I remember people being mad because, well, not mad, but you gave me a couple of books to pick from. I picked the First Heretic. Apparently, some people wanted Hell's Reach. I am actually very happy we did the First Heretic because it turned out to be quite a book.
I don't know why we got British there, but it was quite a book. I think I found that of the 40K authors, Mr. Dembski Bowden are definitely my favorite. I like the books he's done the most. I think he adds a lot of depth. I think his use of human characters to contrast the Astartes is very welcome.
Agreed.
And it was quite good.
Yeah, it was very good. It's a great sort of here, learn about why Lorgar is out of his fucking mind.
And the people who have made him out of his fucking mind.
Yeah. Oh, poor Argyltal.
Argyltal. So the First Heretic is actually far more descriptive of the Horus Heresy than I expected it to be. I kind of forgot it's a Horus Heresy book. Because we get some big events in this book.
Yeah, you get a lot of really big Horus Heresy events, like the ones that everybody talks about, right? Like you get the actual, you get to see the moment that the Imperium gets news that Horus has turned. You get the virus bombing. You get the drop site massacre. You get the aftermath of the drop site massacre. You get a lot of heresy stuff.
You even get the great meeting before the drop site massacre, which where Sevatar offers the famous "death to the false emperor" line.
Yes, he started that, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, Sevatar, you need to copyright claim that, cause death to the that's where it comes from."
I enjoyed I enjoy a lot of those interactions, but the main focal point of the book is Lorgar, the Word Bearers, and Argyltal, first captain of the Serrated Suns chapter. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, at least Shai would probably know this. The chapters are actually a thing that they do in modern 40K. There are chapters, but I believe that's because of the somewhat religious influence, I think. because or maybe not, but they don't have. I don't think they had chapters. Did they have chapters in Horus Heresy time for other legions that were like segmented? I don't know if they did.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, the First Heretic is a book, so of course it had chapters.
Oh my
I couldn't help
God.
it. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
I couldn't help it, man.
I know after the heresy they got cut up thanks to the Codex Astartes and separated into chapters of 1,000. But the fact that they had chapters and chapter masters was really kind of threw me off because I was like, wait a second, I thought this was a fucking heresy book. That chapter masters are a thing in regular 40k. I'm like, oh yeah, word bearers kind of did that stuff first.
Yeah, it would make sense that they did it first. It's since it's sort of highly religious and with all the chaplains and chapter masters. So I believe that.
Yeah, that was certainly like it made sense because of how religious and hardcore they all were. And anywho, the book starts with the raising of Monarchia.
It's a hell of a start.
It's a hell of a start.
I was like, damn, they're getting right into it with like the people of Monarchia getting, absolutely bodied by Ultramarines and getting herded away from Monarchia if they didn't want to die. So yeah, they go in hot and heavy.
I wish they used the VA is very good. He doesn't have a lot of range at times. And that was one thing that annoyed me near the end because he was speaking as like Conrad Kurz with this pompous,
with the pious voice,
the pious like Primarch voice. I'm like, bro, that is not Kurz.
Yeah, I don't think he quite has the Night Lord vibe down, or at least what I would expect a Night Lord to sound like. But the voices that he did nail, he absolutely nails.
I think his Lorgar, his Argel Tall, all that's pretty good. He has a very good female voice. It was very easy to tell the difference with Cyrene, who is our who is kind of like, what would you call her before? Because she was like a religious person in like a slum or something, but kind of reminded me of like one of the like she couldn't like show her face. Kind of, I think she could, but like what's that thing when you wear like the really large black like it's not a burqa, is it?
I'm not sure what you would call it. Cyrene was kind of a weird character because at the outset I thought she was gonna be like one of the main characters that we saw like the 40k world through. Like we would see it through her eyes, and she's I guess she's blind. She's blind because she stares right at Monarchia as the Ultramarines bomb the shit out of it, and it makes her go blind. But I guess I thought she was going to be more of a main character. Not that she wasn't, but it's really more about, seeing it from Argel Tall's. But I don't know why I keep calling him Argel.
The first third of the book is very Cyrene heavy. Because it's split into three parts. It's the raising of Monarchia and how the Legion deals with it afterwards.
Yeah.
And then it's the pilgrimage. And then it's the beginning of the heresy.
Yeah. After that first third, she kind of falls into the background a little bit. Like, she's still there. Argel Tall is still kind of infatuated with her, but you don't get a whole lot more of Cyrene.
No, you don't, unfortunately. Because I actually liked her as a character. I thought she brought a very, human, but a different mindset with everything. Though she did serve her purpose.
Yeah, she did.
And, it's mainly more about Argel Tall, who is one of the first captains, who I think I'm not super interested in Argel Tall as a character, but he becomes far more interesting based on the things that happen to him, as opposed to like him himself.
Yeah, I would agree.
He's a character that's made better by his circumstances, not because he himself is a particularly interesting character.
Yeah.
But he is certainly made interesting by his circumstances, and I think his little like. There's obviously no attraction with him and Cyrene because
no, of course not. That would never a Space Marine and no.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, they specifically state that too to make it clear. But their little dynamic, this like kind of friendship they have is kind of nice.
Yeah,
it's kind of sweet. It kind of breaks down his barriers a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Does kind of feel like even though they say that, I'm not entirely sure how true it is.
Space Marines don't have sex.
Or so they say.
Well, if anyone's having sex, it's the Chaos Space Marines, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see in the future. We'll see.
But yes, the raising of I wish the VA did more of Gilliman's voice. He had a very good Ultramarine voice, where he's like, "Citizen, clear from the area immediately."
Yes, he definitely nails that sort of like pious, looking down his nose at you sort of voice. He does that very, very well. So he does a great Ultramarine. Yeah,
not quite pious, more like
snooty sort of
veteran general,
holier
kind of
than
thing.
thou. Yeah,
yeah, like someone speaking to someone below rank.
Yeah, definitely.
But the raising of Monarchia and the subsequent psychic kneeling of the entire Wordbearers Legion in front of Gilliman and his troops is a blow to the ego, to say the least.
Yep. I mean, I knew it was coming, and it was still like, damn, Big E, like, damn, Gilliman, damn, Ultramarines. Because I think I said it in the main episode, but I didn't realize that Big E psychically forced them to kneel in the ashes of Monarchia. I kind of figured it was just like the word bearers were like, oh, it's Big E, he's telling us to kneel, he's gonna punish us. Okay, I guess we have to. I didn't realize, and I think the book specifically says, like, yeah, this isn't obedience, this is slavery. Like, we're being forced to do this. Like, we're doing this totally against our will.
So naturally, that breaks the faith in the Emperor. They have a decently interesting conversation with Cor Ferrom and Erebus, who are fuckers.
Oh god, they're such bastards.
They're bastards in the book before we even know about them in general. They're just assholes.
Yep, they sure are.
Erebus has this such this holier than thou vibe to him. He's so
such a dick.
Argel Tall, the chaplainhood, and this, I am the trusted advisor of Lorgar. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, whenever Erebus talks, it's like, shut the fuck. I don't care what you have to shut the fuck up. But yeah, he is such a snooty bastard. Oh my god. Does anybody like Erebus? Like, genuinely, does anyone like Erebus?
If people like Erebus, they say people who like Perturabo, where he's just a cunt.
Maybe, yeah, but Erebus is just such a dick.
Yeah.
I can see liking him in the same way that someone would like the Joker. Not necessarily because they're good people, but it's like, oh man, look at how much of a fucker this guy can be. It's kind of cool, you know?
It's kind of fun how hardcore of an asshole he is.
Mm-hmm. He really is. Holy shit.
Despite that, I hate his absolute guts. Mm-hmm. He might be one of the most hateable characters I've read, and he hasn't even done anything particularly hateable. I just hate him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But that kind of goes on the mindset of the word bearers taking the pilgrimage. He speaks with Magnus a little bit. That's a nice conversation. I like that.
I still love the fact that when Magnus leaves, just blows up the chamber. And Lorgar he's just kind of standing there like, oh yeah, no big deal. And all of his soldiers come. It's like, what happened? He's like, huh? I don't know. What are you talking about? It's fine. It's like, everything is in ruin. What the fuck? It's like, oh yeah, Magnus just left.
You know, Magnus was just like, bye. I'm out of here.
Yep.
But it's actually kind of sweet seeing the word bearers in the first third of the book. They're genuinely decent people.
Oh yeah.
The way they treat the civilian population is very kind. They almost remind me of salamanders.
Yeah, they are very respected by the populace of what was that city? It's like the city of Gray Stars or something.
The city of Gray Flowers.
Flowers. Why did I think Gray? Yeah, Gray Flowers.
It starts with a V. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, and the Blessed Lady, and they were given all their little name scrolls to Argel Tall gives it to a kid or something. They seem like very upstanding Astartes. They seem like it's good. They're just good guys.
They're just good guys.
They're just good guys. They're just good guys.
Good guys.
Good guys.
Not little.
No,
not these guys.
No, they're not little. They're Space Marines. They're big guys, but they're just good guys.
They're good guys.
They're great guys. Good guys.
But they're good guys considering their situation. They're kind to their populace.
Yes.
But that of course can't last because this really is a tragedy of a book.
Oh yeah. Definitely a tragedy. Not a lot of happiness comes by the end of this book.
No, it's quite the turn. Like the first third, you're sad because Monarchia, but you're learning about everybody. You're getting it set up. The pilgrimage happens, and man, that's Lorgar, my dudes.
You done fucked up.
You really talk about how much you like your sons, but man, do you throw them out needlessly.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
I know I'm actually a little bit, I kind of feel bad. We'll talk about it in the Word Bearers episode after, but I kind of skipped over a lot of the Lorgar pilgrimage because I was still reading that part. And I finished it all yesterday, and
whoa!
I realized that, no, not the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you finished from Lorgar's pilgrimage to the end of the book yesterday, and I was like, holy shit, that's like 10 hours you spent just reading. Jeez!
No. I thought that they would cover the rest of Lorgar's personal pilgrimage to the Eye.
Yeah, they just skip right over that. They're just like, 40 years later.
Yeah, they go straight to the Horus Heresy. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I might need to cover a little bit of that in the Word Bearers episode.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what happened there. I gotta look it up.
Yep.
But pilgrimage to the Eye involves them going to pre-Cadia.
Yeah, they go to Cadia.
Before it was Cadia.
Mm-hmm. And everybody there has their creepy purple eyes because of the giant warp storm around them. It's sort of, malformed their eyes, and everybody is speaking Colchis.
Yeah.
Colchis.
Yeah.
And all the
Colchisian.
custodians are like, what do you mean they're speaking Colchisian? I know Colchisian. I don't know what the fuck they're saying. And I can't read anything either. What's going on?
The answer, my friend, is chaos.
It's chaos.
It's a chaos language.
It's just chaos.
It's the Colchisian is just chaos.
Well, isn't that what the old ways basically are? Is essentially just belief in the chaos gods.
Worship. Yeah.
They believe in the four gods, and they're the four great gods. And really?
This man literally was raised by an abusive father on a chaos worshipping planet, and he came out mostly okay until now.
Yeah.
Kind of shocking, honestly. He just wanted the truth.
And those are sort of those are some famous Lorgar words too, right? I just wanted the truth. I didn't want to overthrow the Empire. I didn't want to cause the downfall of the Imperium. I just wanted the truth.
He got it.
Yeah, he did.
Because down at the Cadian planet, they had decided to have a fucking chaos ritual, and
they did.
End up killing a custodian. What were your thoughts on the custodians in this book?
Oh man, it almost seemed like they didn't. Because I always held custodians in a much like. It seemed like they were so much higher than everyone, since they only answered the Emperor. They spent all their time in the blood games, which actually I thought it was kind of funny that one of the custodians was like, oh yeah, this is, let's definitely hang out with them, and the other one's like, yeah, you just don't want to go back to Terra and do the blood games because you suck at them.
Yeah,
it seemed like the custodians always kind of fell a little too easy. Like, they were stronger, but they didn't seem like, I guess, what I pictured a custodian to be.
That is kind of how I felt. I felt that they were a little bit weak. Like they still killed off. The problem is that it depends on the writer, right?
Sure.
We read Gaunt's Ghosts, and it's basically the Expendables. Like they.
Yeah, the guards that are killing Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah. And then you read the Night Lords trilogy, and Talos alone is like butchering 50, 100 people in that in like the what was the part when he's storming the flagship. And it seems because that was written by Aaron Dembski about him, and so is this. And Argel Tal and his word bearers definitely feel like the Space Marines I thought of Talos and First Claw as, like that
definitely.
level of Space Marine.
Yeah.
But custodians can vary between being much better than Space Marines to being demigods. to being like near Primarch level.
Yeah, I guess that's how I always
ever...
picture them, as being like almost near like they couldn't go toe to toe with the Primarch, but anything under a Primarch, they're just like, oh yeah, I got this.
Which I guess in a sense they did, because on Cadia, the guy that they killed and used as a sacrifice to the Chaos Gods,
Yeah, they impaled him.
He killed like 4 word bearers before they killed him.
That's true. He sliced through those few word bearers like a hot knife through butter.
He did, and like I know Constantine Valdor, I think was actually able to go toe to toe with some Primarchs. He was like the Captain General, the main guy.
Damn, that's pretty good.
But I kind of expected the Custodians to be maybe a little less chatty.
Oh, right, yeah, that's true. They are very well, except what's his face,
Oh, the guy who took a vow of silence.
He literally took a vow of silence, so he can't be chatty until his last moment.
Which I will say, I really did like how he had his last moment. We'll talk about that later, but
his last moment is great.
It is pretty good. But like, I liked Aquilon. I thought he was cool.
Yeah, Aquilon was cool.
He had a two-handed power sword, which is quite rare, actually.
Yeah. He's just doing his duty, trying to stay faithful to the Emperor, and he's just got thrust into all this fucking madness.
I'm assuming he probably looks like this. They made a new model recently called the Blade Champion. It's the only Custodians model I know that has like a two-handed sword.
Oh yeah, he probably does.
And there wasn't like a two-handed sword. Like, the rest of them normally use Guardian Spears, you know?
Yeah.
Which is
How popular is the First Heretic? This is a pretty popular book, right? Would they make Horus Heresy minis based on the First Heretic? Like Argel Tal?
They did.
Oh, they did!
I think I showed it to you. I'll show it to you again real quick. But yeah, Argel Tal does have a mini. They released this quite recently.
Oh shit, that's so dope! Oh, I must have seen it because he's got an Ultramarine split in half in his hand. Good for him.
So naturally.
What a Chad. Good for you.
Yeah, and I showed you the image of him and Karn being buddies, which was always funny.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Argel Tal has a mini. I do think it was rather recent that it actually came out. But despite that all, yeah, the Custodians I felt like were a little. Like, I don't need because wasn't there a story about like 6 Custodians like holding off like Tyranid High Fleet or some shit? But then there was also like a story of like 10 Custodians dying to like a troop of Harlequins. Oh, and so really? I don't know where we stand on the Custodians thing. I'd like them to be a little stronger than they were in the First Heretic and a little less chatty, a little more stoic. They kind of have a little bit of a bizarre. They speak a little too I don't know. Casually, yeah.
Yeah.
At least personally.
I guess you could also just be like, there's varying degrees of Custodians where some are probably like more all powerful, and maybe these were like some of the more mid-tier, lower Custodians. But yeah, it's like Shai said, it's gonna fluctuate wildly based on the writer and how they sort of interpret the Custodians and how strong they should be.
True. Actually, Shai makes a good point. Remember how 2 orc boys and a grop destroyed a titan in brutal cunning?
It's fair.
It's fair.
It's very fair. Yep.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre, but you know, I actually like the Custodians for the most part.
Yeah.
Because they did end up causing some real fucking problems. Like, they killed half the crew on the ship they were in at the end of the book.
Yeah, the De Profundis?
De Profundis.
Yeah, De Profundis.
Fucking those goddamn names. The Fidelitas Lex.
Yeah.
God, Lorgar, you're a bitch. Also, I'm pretty positive that the robot that was used in the book by what was the name of the AdMech guy?
Oh yeah, Xenu.
447.
Xenu some number. Yeah, he was using what Incarnadine.
Yeah, which I think it was a Castellan robot. I think it was the Among Us robots.
Yeah,
I might be wrong.
I remember wanting to ask you what exactly that thing was because it sounds so crazy. Yeah, as it was blasting those weird glass monsters on that one planet.
Yeah, it might be a Custodian. Oh wait, no, it might be this Legio Cybernetica thing. It might be this thing. They still kind of have the similar like weird Mars look, but
that's very cool. That second one, I really like that one. Did those glass monsters actually exist? I guess they probably don't exist in the tabletop. I'd never heard of them before, but
I'm not sure. Though I must admit, it's kind of funny. If you look at the cover for the First Heretic, it has a possessed word bearer attacking a Custodian.
Yeah, it's just...
which is a big spoiler.
It's a very massive spoiler for the near end of the book. Yeah,
I guess you would just assume you would know what was gonna happen because of that whole thing, but
I guess, yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know, has me and the bag of shredded cheese at 2 a.m. vibes right there. He is yellow.
He is indeed yellow. I've never had a bag of shredded cheese at 2 a.m. in the morning.
I know, but still.
Oh, Bricky.
Bricky. But
what has your life become?
This podcast.
Same.
But I'm going so they eventually get sent. So they summon a fucking demon using the blood of a Custodian.
Oh, yeah. Ingathel.
Ingathel the Ascended, which I'm really happy that the writer decided to talk like this every time the demon spoke.
Oh,
just
yeah,
because
they
it
do
was
a great whispery demon, yeah.
Very good and easy for me to tell the difference between what he was talking as. Mm-hmm. But I'm assuming Ingathel was most likely Slaanesh, had a serpentine body, forearms.
Yeah, unhinged mouth. Yeah, I would assume Slaanesh as well.
Always moving, always moving around. But yeah, Ingathel's basically said, "Hey, I'll be your guide into the eye of terror, or I'll be your guide in the eye and show you the truth that you want." And I remember, and it's like, I need your sons. I need them two. I need Argel Tall and what's the chaplain's name again?
Oh, is the chaplain Zathan?
Zathan. Argel Tall and Zathan. And Lorgar's like, "Are you gonna hurt them?" And he's like, "Yes."
He's honest. The demon is honest anyway.
Yeah, I am.
The demon is honest. Wait, don't they take more than just Zathan and Argel? They take don't they take Argel like whole squad?
Yeah, but I think the demon pointed to them at that period of time.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
But the whole part where he brings the demon on board and all the humans just start puking.
Yeah, and losing their minds.
One of them just stood up and shot his friend.
Yeah. Although, hey, and Argel was like, "I warned you. I said don't look at him. And you all looked at him. Stop it."
I like when he removes his helmet and he's like, "Whoa, wow, this thing does smell. Wow, these humans here are tougher than I thought. God damn."
That's right. Ooh, God, you humans deserve a little more respect. Yeesh.
The demon takes them to the Eye of Terror, and then basically is like, "Hey, here are the Eldar. This is what happened to the Eldar because they didn't believe in it, because the god was birthed, but instead of believing in it and giving it praise, they ran, and so Slaanesh is pissed," which I don't think parses correctly. I think the demon might be lying on that one, but
yeah. Wow, the demon telling things that are skewed in Chaos's favor? No way, dude.
Then they brought them to the gene laboratories of the primarchs, which was a shocking destination.
Very curious how you feel about this sort of twist that they threw in here.
That the Emperor brokered knowledge with the Chaos Gods to make the Primarchs, and then did not uphold his end of the bargain, which is why they yeeted the Primarchs out there.
Yeah, that he promised he would tell everyone about the primordial truth if he got the knowledge to make his sons, and then he was like, "No, fuck you guys. I'm actually gonna make an atheistic empire, and fuck you, and no one's gonna ever know about you." And that was a weird turn of events. Also, that his sons got yeeted because Argel and his squad were like, "Oh, the Emperor is a lying sack of shit. Break the Gellerfield and let Chaos in." And how it was like, timey-wimey bullshit, and I don't know how I feel about that whole scene.
So, the idea that the Emperor brokered peace with demons, or brokered a thing with demons in order to get the necessary knowledge to create the primarchs, and then didn't uphold his end of the bargain, that's why they yeeted them, is not the worst thing in the world. Like,
it's probably not the worst. I don't know if it's great, though.
I don't know if it's great either. It's a bit of a bizarre concept, and it has to be taken with a solid grain of salt because we have, because the demon could very easily be fucking lying.
True, he could be making a hallucination for them to see just to get them to get the need to turn on the Emperor and go chaos and start worshiping chaos. True, it could all just be a hallucination that never actually happened, and that's not how it happened.
That's the hard part. The question you have to assume is that, and maybe this is a GW annoyance thing, but GW is doing this intentionally because they can choose not to take that path if they don't want to, and then because that which is their not a retcon.
Not a retcon.
Yeah, because it's an unreliable narrator,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about it, though. I think it's at least interesting. I'm more interested about how they were talking about the Second Legion, and which is the one that got expunged.
Oh yeah, the one that Magnus doesn't want Lorgar talking about because do you want to be like them, huh? You want to be the third one that gets.
And then they're talking like, well, we should just kill this fucking baby in here right now and not remove the shame of that legion and like what the hell's going on? Like I don't understand.
He wanted to kill baby Gilliman.
He was like the 13th pod, and he's like, Gilliman.
I was like, do it.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have fun Gilliman now then.
That's true. But then we also wouldn't have Ultramarines, which is,
Well, they're getting better now because they're all sad.
Sacrifices must be made, you know what I mean?
But despite that all, they obviously couldn't because where they were, I guess they again couldn't do anything. But it makes you wonder more about the Second Legion and what the hell they did wrong.
Yeah,
I know there's an excerpt with Rogel Dorn and Malkador, I think, where Dorn is like, it's a lot like X or Y. And it's like we wouldn't want someone to end up like, and then Malkador is like, hey.
You shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to talk about that.
I say, knock it off, Dorn, you fuck.
Although I do like the idea that it paints the Emperor as like an imperfect being to the sons that think he's perfect. Like obviously we know that the Emperor, not perfect, quite a bad dad, not the greatest leader, but sort of the shock that the word bearers feel when they're like, oh shit, Big E not only not perfect, but he convenes with demons. The fuck? I kind of like seeing him be shown as almost human himself.
What's the Emperor book? Is that Master of Mankind, Shy?
It has to be. Surely.
I'm assuming. But wasn't there's some book where people are saying like you should read that book because it gives you a significantly larger amount of insight into the Emperor and you think differently. I don't know. It might have been Master of Mankind. I'm not quite sure which one it was. But I could because The Last Church didn't make me think much better of him. Made me think it was a fedora-tipping atheist asshole.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I don't know. Despite it all, though, they lower the Geller field against their intelligence, and then every single human crew on the ship fucking die, and then the demon possesses every single word bearer on the ship that's still alive.
Yep. And Argyle gets a new friend.
And it's not a friend that's like taking over him, like a shared body kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not like Ingathel makes, or I guess not Ingathel that takes him over. It's a different demon. It's one of his kin. It's not like it's forcing him to necessarily do anything. It's just sort of whispering in his ear. And sometimes it possesses him and makes him be like, oh yeah, we are this, we are that. And Lorgar's like, no, shut up! You're Argyle. You! Say I, you bitch.
That was Lorgar's exact words. It was crazy when he was like, say I, you bitch!
You bitch, say I, you are Argyle. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how they kind of get this symbiosis.
Mm-hmm.
Him and the demon, they don't really fight each other for power. They're more just like sharing the space.
Yeah.
And sometimes the demon has the more powerful strength, sometimes Argel Tal has the more powerful strength. They're better together.
Yeah, which is interesting to see, because you would just assume that a demon is gonna do demon-y shit and just be like, nope, your body's mine now. It's bye-bye. I'm gonna send you to the deepest recesses of your consciousness and just live your life for you. Get fucked, kid. But it surprisingly didn't do that.
Yeah, I thought it would go like it would on like the Exalted. We thought it was gonna be the Exalted kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I was exactly thinking the Exalted, and
But no, it wasn't. It was not the Exalted or anything like that. It was a symbiosis, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then after our big pilgrimage and the like, and Lorgar gets his answers, we get a little bit of a not a great side character with the picked Remembrancer guy.
Oh yeah, Ishkan, whatever his name
something,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of him. He just, when he showed up, it just kind of, he's there again. They're talking about him. Oh, look at him roaming around. He's in a bar. Cool, he's taking pictures. Ugh. And I just kind of zoned out whenever he was around, to be honest.
Yeah, I was not a very big fan of him overall, because his entire point was to get the Custodians to find out what happened.
Yeah, that was the only purpose he had, was like he took a picture of like the demon engine on the ship or something, or some demony shit that they were making sacrifices for, and he was like, oh, I guess I better show this to the Custodian, and then off he goes.
Well, he didn't do that. He got found out by the Astropath, and the Astropath was like, now you better fucking take this to the Custodian.
Oh, that's right. He's in the bar with the Astropath. That's right. When the ship is getting attacked, and yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. It reminded me of that random gunnery lady at the end of Voidstalker. She's kind of there to be around and have discussion, yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a little flashback because as Argel Tal was running through the crew to get to the Custodians, he was like killing them. And I was like, this seems familiar. And then
Where have I seen this before? Yeah.
And then the demon gets recessed, and Argel Tal is like, hey, you're killing the crew. Stop
that. You're killing the crew. Stop it. I'm taking
like,
control again.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The non-demon doesn't want to kill the crew. I'm too used to the regular guy wanting to kill the crew.
I'm so used to the pseudo-chaos space marine wanting to kill everything. Yeah.
The shenanigans.
Very shenanigans.
Very shenanigans. But, yeah, the going through after all that stuff, we kind of get to the heresy part of it. The drop site massacre is where we're at, which is crazy that we're at that point.
Yeah. They also, I kind of like that they showed everybody's perspective as they were hearing about the heresy. I forget what planet they were trying to conquer with the Custodians, or they were trying to conquer some planet or whatever, and then just hearing everyone be like, heresy? Horus? No way. The Emperor probably did something, because Horus would, what the fuck? And then the Custodians just being completely shook that there's heresy, and it's Horus, what the fuck?
Yeah, like there's no way it'd be ever be Horus. There'd never be fucking Horus.
Yeah, the Emperor probably fucked him, because what the hell?
Yeah, he's the guy.
He's the guy. He's not a little guy.
No, he's not a little guy. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
The guy.
The guy.
But the goddamn Horus heresy kind of gets itself all stuck in around, and and they have their meeting. I liked how they had all of the various groups there: the Iron Warriors, Night Lords, and Alpha Legion, and Word Bearers.
Yep.
And they all played their roles pretty well. Sevatar was an asshole, as he is.
As well he should be. You know, he's a Night Lord. He's kind of like the Night Lord. Aside from Conrad Curse, he is the Night Lord of history.
He is the fucking Night Lord. They also had Malkari in there.
Yeah, Malkari was there too.
Yeah, I was like, it's the Dreadnought.
Look at you.
Look at him.
Look at you. Well, he's not Dreadnought yet.
Not yet, no. But because I think Argel Tal was like growling because of the demon in him, and Sevatar was like, "Shut up."
He's not even off put. He's just shut the fuck up.
And then He had all Perturabo and all the Iron Warriors with their very like iron with it and iron without thing.
Yep.
And then the Alpha Legions in the back, they're just not saying a word.
Yeah, they seem very uncaring, like they're just sort of bothered by it all. Yeah. Yep.
I just enjoy the concept that the Alpha Legion are in the back, just like
snooping around. It's like, they're not really like rallying with all the traitor legions. They're just kind of there scoping things out, you know. Are they loyalist spies? Are they actually in with this? I don't know. It's Alpha Legion.
They're doing their thing, you know.
They are. They're being very Alpha Legion.
Yeah, as is their main goal.
As the Alpha Legion, it is indeed their main goal to be very Alpha Legion. Yes.
Yes, very creepy.
Mysterious.
You get your big Death to the False Emperor, you get your actual drop site massacre, which I liked how they all operated the way they were supposed to. The Iron Warriors in particular landed and immediately started setting up a shitload of turrets and gun placements and tanks.
Of course.
And then immediately started actually like shooting word bearers.
Yeah, stop shooting our troops.
Lol.
Lamau.
They're like, oh god, Corvus Corax is flying into the midst in the word bearers and is literally ripping them to ribbons.
Yeah.
Time to fire las cannons at him. We're hitting the word bearers. That's okay.
Whoops. Oh well. Get Corvus Corax. Also, holy shit, the drop site massacre made me like really like Corvus Corax, by the way.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Lorgar.
Yeah, the way he flies around with his jump jet, like, decapitates people with his metal wings, and just, like, what was there, like, a word bearer that was rushing him, and they were like, yeah, Corvus Corax didn't even need to turn around, he just turned his jump jet on and burned that fucker alive. And it was like, Jesus! He didn't even turn around!
I think he, like, there's also times where he just would turn around with his serrated wings and just slice people
to ribbons. Oh my god, he's so cool. Holy shit. I don't care if his group was like all emo and black and white and whatever. So badass. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was really cool and very fun to watch, and how just absolutely furious he was at what was going on.
Mm-hmm. He was fixing to kill the shit out of Lorgar.
That's why it was funny to me that when Kurz stops him and he talks in this regal voice, I'm like, nah, dog.
No,
this ain't right.
Especially when like Kurz stops it and Corvus Corax flies away, and he looks back and he's like, you are pathetic, Lorgar. I will not save you again, Patui. And it's like, man,
I know. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know if that's the right voice for Kurz, dude. I don't think maybe you need to go back to the drawing board on that one.
He should sound like a meth addict who's barely alive.
Yeah, he needs to sound very droll and low and raspy and yeah.
At least they did a good Perturabo a little bit.
Yeah,
he wasn't around for much. He was just kind of there being bitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Kurz voice very, very not Kurz.
But then the Iron Warriors are shooting down Thunderhawk gunships and stuff, fleeing the battlefield, and those gunships are landing on word bearer troops. And Argel Tall literally is like, stop firing at the gunships, and the Iron Warrior genuinely laughs.
Yeah.
He's like,
no, I don't think
yourself.
I will.
It's like, calm yourself, word bearer. It's a large battle.
These things happen.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Hangs up, and I'm like, oh my god, he actually did lol Lamau him.
He did. He lol Lamau'd him, just like the meme texts say.
But that fight with Lorgar and Corvus was the psychic fire, where Lorgar's psychic power really comes to light, and it's exactly when all of the Gal Vorbeck have their first transformation.
Yep. They all turn into demons.
A little possessed.
Possessed, yeah, they take their demonic forms. And Lorgar gets his halo and his fiery wings, and it is still not even close to enough to get him to be on par with Corvus Corax, which is crazy. How strong is Corvus?
Well, it's the fact that Lorgar isn't a fighter. Corvus is like an assassin.
Oh, that's true. Lorgar never wanted to be a fighter. He wanted the truth. He wanted to praise the... That's true. That's fair.
Corvus, like the Raven Guard, are about stealth and like assassinations, They're very they have like lots of snipers and they got their jetpacks and stuff. Like Corvus is a whirlwind of blades.
Yeah.
And he is made to kill, and he is okay with it.
Yeah, that's true. Lorgar, not a fighter, not really.
Also, funny enough, you know they actually made a brand new kit for possessed Marines just like a few months ago. They're not out yet. They just revealed them.
Really?
Yeah, they look great.
Let me see this. Oh shit, those do look great.
Yeah, they look really, really good.
Oh fuck, that's there's I would want a box of those because I would want to make every variation of it because there's so many cool variations on there. Like the demon head looks cool, the clawed right arm thing, the spider thing looks. That's great. Those look so dope.
Yeah, they really do have a good look to them right there. They there's also there's also these things called the torments, which we don't get in the unfortunately we don't get in the book, but they're basically cultists that have had demons taken over them, and these are some crazy models. The demon has very evidently gotten the upper hand.
No, okay, the demon has evidently gotten the upper hand. Yeah, I'd say so. Holy shit! Oh my god, that demon is coming out of that dude's crotch.
What?
Holy, the spider thing,
yeah.
that's very clearly coming out of his junk.
I guess.
Coming right out from his loincloth. Damn.
Yeah, they're pretty nuts.
Yeah, penis demons, dude. Who would have thought?
Anywho, yeah, the big fight where they get all their possession, the custodians find out what's going on. They kill Cyrene, which was a shocking thing I didn't expect to happen.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. Like, cause you see, what is it? You see Aquilon and one of the others leave the room, and it's like, oh yeah, that other custodian is dead. We need to make our way the fuck out of here. And you don't know that Cyrene is dead until Argel Tal comes back on the ship, and it's like, oh fuck, Cyrene's dead. The whole room is destroyed. Xenu's fucked. Incarnadine is dead. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, Incarnadine, the giant robot, was just there, having a very I can't defeat you, I know, but he can.
Yes.
Kind of moment. He's in the back, just like, here I am, gigantic ass robot, kills one custodian.
Which kind of surprising. Like, should Robo Boy be able to defeat it? Well, again, I guess it depends on the writer and how strong they perceive certain things and how strong they think a custodian should be.
It was a pretty big one. It was what was it? It's called the Conqueror Primus of the Legio Cybernetica. I don't know what a Conqueror Primus. Okay, so it was the second robot I showed you, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or maybe actually, I don't know. It's big. It's a big robot. It's a big robot. Maybe not. I don't know.
That's kind of what I imagined, because at the time I didn't know what a Conqueror Primaris was, so I was just like, it's probably a big fuck off robot.
I mean, actually, I think so. Yeah, is a big fuck off robot that caused some problems and probably shot up or beat the shit out of at least one custodian, because they were also dealing with the humans in the back.
That's true.
The half of the guardsmen that were there and then died.
He probably very swiftly died.
But it's got a good at least enough ending where they kind of set up how him and Aquilon would duel, him Argel Tal. And Aquilon would duel all the time, and Aquilon would always put him on his ass consistently because, of course, he would.
Because he's a custodian, and it also really set up that they're actually like really good friends, and they're practically. I mean, towards. I feel like one
mutual respect, maybe not like full on.
Man, I don't know. I kind of got the vibe that they were actually kind of close. With their like sparring and like when they would talk, it seemed like they were kind of close. And then but there's that scene at the end that makes me think that they were maybe a little closer to. But yeah,
maybe I'm not quite sure if I'm fully on that, but regardless, they find them on the surface, and then you get like, what was it, 11 possessed word bearers versus 3 custodes.
3 custodes, yeah.
3 custodes, and I think they kill 5 possessed.
I think so, because
which is still pretty impressive. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll give him that one.
Because Argel Tal and Aquilon do end up fighting. And Argel Tal rips Aquilon's head off his shoulders, spine and all.
Because, no matter how strong these custodians are, they are outnumbered
Yep.
more than 3-1.
Yep, by demons, by Chaos Space Marine demon word bearer monstrosities.
By chaos possessed.
Yeah. And then I think the last custodian to die is the one that took the vow of silence.
Yes,
right?
with his wonderful final lines.
He throws his spear. It hits Zaphon square in the chest, sends him flying backwards, just absolutely getting wrecked. And his last words, "I always hated you, Zaphon."
Yep, with a hearty chuckle. Yes. It's like, I always hated you, Zaphon. So Zaphon's fucking dead.
Zaphon is dead. He got impaled by this custodian's spear and just boom. Yep.
Fucking crazy. They lost a lot. They did lose a lot of possessed Marines, and possessed Marines are pretty tough. Actually, in the game doesn't mean much, but they have about the same stat line as Custodians. Actually, they're a very similar stat line. Same toughness, same amount of health.
Yeah.
Not as good armor though, because they're fleshy.
Yeah, that's was wild.
Shai, is that an epic embed fail?
Embed fail, laugh at this user.
Oh no, it's not. It's wow, that's shocking. This is
Is that Argel Tal's stat sheet?
It is Argel Tal's stat sheet. Though this does not look like it's the stat sheet for 40k. This looks like 30k?
Well, it would have to be, right? Is Argel Tal actually in 40k as a thing?
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, I'm looking at the weapon skill and ballistic skill. This is definitely 30k.
Yeah, it would have to be, right?
Yeah, jump infantry, has artificer claws, +1 strength, 3 AP.
Makes sense that he has artificer claws, because that's one of the things he duels Aquilon with.
Yeah. It's interesting. There's the Warlord, Master of the Vakra Jaw.
Yep.
He also has the special rule Damned. A unit with this special rule never counts as a scoring unit, regardless of the provisions. Interesting. Fascinating.
Yeah, the power claws are one of the things that he actually managed to put Aquilon on his ass with. And then 2 seconds later, Aquilon was like, yeah, well, now you're on your ass, bitch. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, he reversed that one quick, but
yeah,
it was still kind of cool to see it.
Yep.
It was, it was nice.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah.
I enjoyed the ending is kind of a pretty hefty kind of, not sort of a cliffhanger, but it's pretty hefty. It just stops.
Yeah.
Most likely because the book after this is, I believe, Betrayer.
I think so. One of the wikis said what preceded it and what's the book that follows, and I can't remember if Nemesis is the one that precedes it or follows.
Or is it let's see.
But yeah, there's a nice little scene where at the end where Argel Tal has Aquilon's sword and he has the data pad with Cyrene's last words, and he's like, "Oh man, all my brothers are gone. This sucks." And then the demon's like, "No, I'm your brother."
Yeah, it's like, no, like your brothers aren't gone. It's me. I'm your brother. I'm like, oh no, the demon's trying to move in rent free.
Yeah, he sure is. But that's why I thought that maybe like they were a lot closer, because he was like, he sort of kept Aquilon's blade as not necessarily like, oh look at me, I killed a custodian, but more sort of mourning the fact that Aquilon is dead.
So if we're following the Horus Heresy, specifically Horus Heresy, there are a couple other books first, like Prospero Burns, I think is one of them. But if we want to go straight to, but they're not Argel Tal related.
If we want to follow Argel Tal.
If we want to get the direct sequel to Argel Tal, we will be reading Betrayer.
Is that what we want to do? Do we want to follow Argel Tal for a couple books?
We are absolutely fucking reading Betrayer. I don't care.
All right, I guess our next book is Betrayer then.
Yes.
Hey? Okay, cool.
Wait, hold up. Damn it. Can I pick up the books Betrayer and the First Heretic as long as I know what's going on? Should I read everything before? First Heretic works just fine without reading anything else. I recommend a no fear between First Heretic and Betrayer, not because you have to, but because it's a great book.
Oh, so we can just go right to the Betrayer. No Fear might be a good book and a nice little middle primer, but we can just go right to the Betrayer, it sounds like.
Betrayer is often spoken as the best, if not equal to Horus Rising in the Horus Heresy series.
Okay.
I've had many people tell me Betrayer is by far the best Horus Heresy book, and I got other people tell me that's really damn good, maybe not the best, but really fucking good.
Hell
So
yeah, brother.
I'm going Betrayer. We're doing Betrayer. It's time. It's the Latara Sarin book anyway, so.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. Hell
it's
yeah.
Time. It's time for some Karn. It's time for some Angron.
It's time for some abs.
It's time for some abs.
Let's go.
It's time for the heresy to be in full swing.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Also,
right.
it's crazy that we did sort of a very brief overview of what we thought of the book, and this episode is still gonna be almost an hour long. Can you imagine if we tried to do like a super in-depth summary of like every little thing that happened? We'd be here all fucking day.
It's like a 15-hour listen.
Yeah, it's a lot happens. It's very good. Would highly recommend.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, it's definitely up there in terms of favorite books that we've read so far. It's way up there.
It's pretty good for me. It doesn't eclipse the Night Lords trilogy, and it doesn't eclipse Gaunt's Ghosts. But it's pretty up there. I put it on equal terms with Caiaphas Cain.
Yeah, I feel the same. It doesn't eclipse the Night Lords trilogy. And I don't think it eclipses the really cool Necron books that we read, but I would put it above Gaunt and Caiaphas Cain.
Right, I know you're not as big on the guardsman stuff as I am.
Shocking! You're big on guard stuff? No way!
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, what of it, bitch?
Yeah, what of it?
We'll fight about it?
You hoe.
Jeez, sorry. God.
Good.
You're so mean about it.
All right, that's our episode today. Argel Tall did not share his brother's relish.
I need the relish for my hot dog. No.
Give it back. It's mine. No.
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 And that's all that matters.